Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? HBO just released a teaser trailer for Game of Thrones, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. You know, it's set in the world of Game of Thrones, but it's not Game of Thrones, but it's kind of like Game of Thrones. Anyway, man, let's get to this teaser trailer. Let's watch it together. Do this together.
In a time when the dragons have fallen silent and the Iron Throne still holds its power.
Okay. Dunk.
We seek our place in this fractured world.
Sir Duncan the Tall. If y'all don't know about Duncan and Egg, that's Sir Duncan the Tall.
In the shadow of great battles and greater betrayals.
Egg is for short for
We
Aegon.
find our strength in each other.
And he bald here. He is like a little egg.
You and I?
They look like they jumping around in time frames a little bit. But hey, if they gonna be showing battles like this,
Our journey is just beginning.
okay, this look like
Tales
this
of the
gonna be
Seven
dope.
Kingdoms are written in our blood.
Yeah, if they gonna be showing them like this, I'm with this. I'm with all of this. Okay, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Listen, I'm hyped up. Now, I did a video last year. I've only had my YouTube channel for a year. So I did a video last year where I was saying that HBO last year ran into a dragon problem. And somebody hopped in my comments. They believe it's not a dragon problem. Shut up. Shut up. You don't even understand what's going on. HBO had a dragon problem. They had a dragon problem because the budget becomes so big from them having to put the dragons on screen that they had to scale the season down and make it, 8 episodes? And then this next season of House of the Dragon is going to be 8 episodes. The same thing happened when they got to the end of Game of Thrones. Because the CGI and things like that for the dragons cost so much money to do. Me personally, having read all the Game of Thrones and Fire and Blood, like, there's a lot of stories in the world of Westeros or in George R. R. Martin's universe that you could do that don't need the dragons at all. That don't need the dragons at all. I'm not even a big dragon fan. I could care less about the dragons. I never watching the show. I never was like, oh my gosh, Daenerys. Now I want to see Daenerys make it to Westeros and do her damn thing and get vengeance for her family. But I wasn't so caught up in the Daenerys storyline and the dragons that's all the show is about to me. Like, remember for like the first few seasons, we rarely even seen Daenerys. Game of Thrones was not built on those damn dragons and Daenerys. The first few seasons was about what was going on in Westeros, what was going on with Robb Stark, and what was going on at the Wall with Jon Snow and these White Walkers on the other side. The dragons were babies, and then they got big at an accelerated rate, and Daenerys started coming into her own, and you know, it was great to see her turn into the character that she wound up turning into. I mean, not when she was sadistic at the end, but to see her growth and her development and what she became, it was dope. But Game of Thrones was not built off seeing those damn dragons fly around and burn stuff up. You know what I'm talking about? We didn't fall in love with it for that. Those first couple, 2-3 seasons, we didn't get caught up in Game of Thrones for what the dragons was going to do. Now, this is me personally. I think I'll probably split this up in 2 videos because I want to do the teaser trailer, let y'all watch that. But I got something to say too. There's a lot of things. There's the Blackfire Rebellion. There's a lot of things that happens in the world of Westeros that's pretty dope. A lot of stories that you can tell without the Targaryens. I guess at some point HBO or some of the fandom got caught up in the dragons and then finding out Jon Snow was a secret Targaryen and the prophecy about the dragon having 3 heads and oh, the dragons are gonna stop the White Walkers and this and that. A lot of us got so caught up in that I think HBO just figured that's the only reason why we love this damn show was because of the Targaryens. I could give a damn about the Targaryens. Listen, I like the Daenerys, and I feel like her dragons was dope, but I could give a damn about the Targaryens. So when they decided to scrap their original plan for the first spinoff, which was gonna be them in the North, and talking about the first time the White Walkers came, and decided to go with the House of Blood, you know, House of the Dragon, Fire and Blood storyline, I was like, you guys went the easiest route. The next thing you guys, they're probably going to do is Aegon's Conquest. There's been a rumor for that, you know what I'm saying, for the longest. But it's like, damn, I'm tired of seeing Aegon's. I'm sick and tired of seeing Aegon's. Just me personally. I don't give a damn about the Targaryens like that. Even in the books when the prophecies kind of get broke down. I think a lot of us who was addicted to Game of Thrones, and when Jon Snow died in the book, we all went heavy on the prophecies. I think even in the prophecies and all the theories is that Jon Snow name ain't even freaking Aegon. I think the conclusion that a lot of us came to is that he would probably be Jaehaerys after what's the name's grandfather. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they made him Aegon is kind of like a ripoff, because in the books there's another guy who, in theory, is supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, a legitimate Targaryen. He might or might not, but his name is Aegon. You know what I'm saying? Now, he has a fake name and purple hair, all that stuff like that, but his name is Aegon in the books. And in the last book, in the end of book 5, he actually lands in Westeros and start conquering people's lands. You know what I'm saying? With the Golden Company. He actually lands and start taking over stuff. Now, he ain't got no damn dragons like Daenerys, but he does that. Daenerys is still in the East. Jon still dead. That's where the books left off at. I'm mad at George R. R. Martin to this day for that. I could call him some egregious names, but I'm going to hold back. But I just said all that to say that, you know, HBO, like I said, they got fascinated with the whole dragon and the Targaryen thing. And like, I don't know how many people feel like me or believe like me, but the dragons aren't the greatest thing about Game of Thrones. They're just a part of it. The Game of Thrones, the house, the game, the lies, the conspiracies, the being stabbed in the back, the war on the ground, you know what I'm saying? The young wolfling, you know what I'm saying? Those were the things that got us hooked. They got us hooked from the day they cut Ned's head off. Nah, I got hooked before that. I got hooked actually when the White Walkers had them kids in a circle, you know, at the beginning of the first one, and they pushed Bran out the window. But still, there's so much more going on in the world. Even in the East, you know what I'm saying? There's so much more going on in the world of Game of Thrones and the world of Westeros. George R. R. Martin really created a dope universe, you know what I'm saying? Like I always say, you know, I put him up there. You know, that's one of my favorite writers and creators, you know what I'm saying, as far as fantasy go, especially Middle Earth type or Middle Age type fantasy. He's one of my favorite ones. Like, he's much more cutthroat than a lot of other ones, especially much more than Tolkien. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact that George build up a character and make you think the story is about this character and kill him off in a minute that's nasty work. That's nasty work. But anyway, man, yeah, that was the teaser to Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Duncan Egg. Duncan's a knight trying to make his way in the real world. He's not even a knight. You know, the head's knight. He's not even a knight. He's just a fighter who's making his way up. And Egg is a Aegon, a Targaryen. You know what I'm saying? He's not even in line to be a king, even though one day he does become king. You know what I'm saying? He just wants to wander off and go on adventures and experience the world. And he cuts his hair off because he has the typical Targaryen white hair, you know. So he cuts his head off and goes bald. So but nobody knows who he is. So the whole time Duncan's walking around with royalty and don't know it, with royalty as like his little sidekick. His I forget what's the word they call it, but yeah, that's the story of Duncan and Egg. They go on a bunch of adventures, and I believe Duncan the Tall is supposed to be one of Brienne's descendants. So that's supposed to be why Brienne is so damn tall. Julia.